Hello Flute Art Center, my name is Julien Beaudiment and it's very nice to see you and to be with you. I think I've been here like maybe 10 times, maybe, I think maybe more. I mean, I think the first time I came here was like in 2005, so, and I come at least once a year, so maybe more than 10 times. I love to come here, and I learned how to like Seoul actually, because when I came for the first time I didn't understand how the city was working. It was too big, and now it's becoming a part of myself to come here. I have my little habits now in Seoul. I know the place where I like to go. So yeah, it's always fun to be here, and I have many friends now in Korea, especially in Seoul, and people who are working for me from J&R Art Management, and some flute players and students. It's always nice to be here. The first thing I started with the recorder when I was young. I was 6 and I was playing the recorder. I played that for 6 years at the conservatory actually. I mean, I wasn't playing just for my own, you know. I was studying, sorry, how to play well the recorder. And when I was 12, it was the time for me to change, because I really wanted to be a musician. And we thought with my family that it would be maybe quite limited to stay with the recorders. So I was in the conservatory of my native town, La Rochelle, and I opened actually all the doors of the teaching classes. So I went to listen to the cello lessons, the oboe lessons, horns lessons, and I opened the flute class, you know, and it was actually love at first sight. And I really loved the sound of the flute. And actually I was teaching this morning, I was telling a student that the flute should sound easy. And I think that's what I loved about the flute, is that for me, when I heard for the first time, I think it was a flute student who was playing a study by Chopin. And it was fantastic, the sound was beautiful, and I was in love with the sound, the facility of the playing. So I started the flute when I was 12, and since then I never stopped. What I'm trying to teach more is the honesty towards music. Of course, it's about putting of ourselves in the music, but I think what is very important is that to respect the text and to use all the tools we have at the flute players. I mean, the sound of the flute is a tool, the vibrato, the air, everything, to respect and to treat better the music. That's for me the most important thing. And of course then technically what I emphasize most in the lessons is to be flexible with the air. We are playing a woodwind instrument, not a lips instrument. And I guess for me the most important and the hardest thing to achieve is to be flexible with the air. And if we are flexible with the air, that you will be flexible with the music, because we are phrasing with the air and not with the lips or the fingers. Actually, when I'm teaching, I mean, one of the most important things I always teach is that don't focus on the lips and the fingers, but the solution is invisible, is inside us. To win an orchestra audition is completely different than winning an international competition. Orchestra audition, you have in the jury all the different categories of the instruments of the orchestra. You have like a flute players, of course, but you have oboe player, contrabass player, timpani, violin, okay. So what people like is maybe not what the other like actually. So first is of course, to give everybody what they need. Most important are, of course, the basic stuff, a very good sound, very good sense of tempo and rhythm, a very good intonation, and then to put, of course, your character, your charisma, your expression, but always trying to respect these 3 rules about the relation between the sound, the tempo, the rhythm, the intonation, the articulation, the precision, of course, how to be precise but not strict, for example, how to be creative, but not too much. And I think it's like a sound engineer is always to be, you know, to like a sound engineer. You're always trying to to give a bit everything, but not too much. And I think you have also to be clever and maybe lucky also. Well, you know, I have no plan in. I mean, it sounds maybe strange, but I don't have a career plan. What I'm doing, what I've done in my life, surprises me. That when I was young, when I was a student, I could never imagine I could do all what I done. You know, so I let the things go by themselves. What I've done is amazing, and if there's some things which are more amazing, great. And if there's nothing more amazing, great too. So there's no plan in the future. I mean the plans will be my first CD next year, an important book I'm writing about the flute, all this stuff, and many concerts, of course. But I live one day at a time, and I am very happy to live this way. So for me, yes, there are many things coming up, but the most important thing is what I'm living today. Well, that's a good question. I would love to have more free time because I'm very busy between the orchestra, the conservatory, all the things I'm doing outside. What I like to do is to go and relax in my family house. We have a family house in Cap Ferret, which is a beautiful place. It's like 45 minutes from Bordeaux, and it's by the sea. It's very quiet. When I go there, I leave the flute. You know, I don't play the flute at all. I'm just going to the ocean to swim, to relax with the good weather and with my family. So this is what I like to do. But of course, I need time to go there. Otherwise, when I'm in Lyon, the very, very rare moments when I have time off, I go to the cinema. I go to see friends. I try to go to some museums. You know, but it's very difficult to have some free time. So it's more free. I will have some free time in August for 3 weeks. So you will be sure that you will find me in Cap Ferret for 3 weeks.